What's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me on this morning talk. So, we're gonna do part 2 to the AI Robotic World talk that we just did the other day. And just so you guys know, I had some issue with my Google storage, and I lost a few videos that I'd had in the wing to get uploaded. So it's just unfortunate because I had a couple really good ones, man. Really sucks. Yesterday I meant to upload a couple more videos and get caught up on my uploads, and for some reason my Google storage messed it up, and I lost some stuff. So anyways, guys, it is what it is. That's what always my worry about these cloud services, you know. But anyways, we'll just move on. I'm just gonna get better. When I cut a video in the morning, I'm gonna get it uploaded as soon as I get home. I've had a lot going on, but I'm just gonna start purposefully, regardless of anything, setting that time aside to get the uploads done. So it's unfortunate, man. I had some really good videos too, man. Damn, it sucks. It is what it is, though. Anyways, let's move on with the video, guys. I was going over a lot of the plans that the Trump administration's been doing, helping set up this, and Elon Musk and a lot of these other companies, you know, like Palantir and all that, what they've been doing to like start setting up the framework for this complete automated AI controlled roboticized future that we're looking at. Well, as we're setting the groundwork for all that, you know, we were talking about a lot of the domestic and financial things, right? Like being set up with that. Well, something else that we haven't been talking about, at least I haven't been, but we're going to talk about it now, and this is going to be kind of touchy. I don't know how much I'm going to have to talk around here, but try to follow me the best you guys can. Because, you know, anything that has to do with the country that starts with a U gets highly censored, right? Or with an area that starts with an I that's involved with the G, country or area, territory, right? Very touchy stuff. Not allowed to talk about any of that. Total censorship and limitation. But what's been going on in those war theaters has been these companies like Palantir and such have been using these battlefields to test out AI and robotics, and also along with robotics, folks, that includes the drones. Of course, drone warfare, right? These two battlefronts have allowed these companies, these transhumanist companies, these futurist, anti-humanist companies, these Terminator companies, these Skynet company. I could go on and on. I'm sorry, folks. It's allowing them to test out these AI-controlled drones on the battlefields. In fact, a lot of these drones are being managed by AI systems that are in live time going through data recognition, face recognition, like all these things, like creating these algorithms to target people automatically. And of course, I can't remember, there was that movie that came out a few years ago about the swarms of drones that some like world dictator guy unleashed on the world, right? And you know, these killbots, right? I guess you could call these drones killbots too. And well, folks, we're watching that live time right now being battle tested in those two theaters of war. I mean, indiscriminate AI deciding on who lives and who dies. And look, this is all part of the larger picture, folks, of the framework they're setting up for the total digital currency system, one world digital currency, for the AI supercomputers, quantum computers, to, a master AI mind to manage the world under a one world system, to manage all of your municipalities, your systems, everything, and essentially to replace 85% of your workforce, white collar and blue collar workers. And what do you do when you have 85% of your population out of work on a basic universal income? People get bored and restless. What do you do to keep the peace? Well, we've already known, folks, what they already ran one beta test, right? With the jibby jabbers. That's to try to start cutting down the numbers of people on the earth. That's a major step, and they're going to continue with that. Trust me. they're gonna go all in on that. Look, these psychopaths. The Georgia Guidestones that was their Bible, folks. Okay, 500 million people on the earth. That means you'd have to get rid of 90% of the population, roughly 95, I don't know, somewhere around there. What are we at now? Like 8 billion people. So yeah, more than 90% of the population would have to be dismissed to hit those numbers. And now, how would you control the peasants after that? As they're getting more and more worked up because their whole world has been mechanized and automated, and they're under total surveillance. Their money's all digital. They can shut your money off at a whim. You could just, based on your social credit score and all this other stuff they're setting up. China was the beta test for that. Well, you're going to have our cities. The reason why the globalists were pushing for mass immigration and for mass civil unrest in the cities and stuff was because they're going to come down later down the pipe as cities are burning, and they're going to say it's time to deploy these systems with law enforcement, these drones to help the police, these algorithms, these facial recognitions, these social scores to keep the rabble, the sheep, under control, under surveillance, and they're going to deploy them. See, what we're watching right now, folks, is the beta testing of all these systems. Oh, sorry, folks, dang. And they're building the framework for everything. Look, folks, this is all going to hit us all at once, okay? All of a sudden here, in a few years, you're going to wake up and you're going to have drones patrolling your cities, robots patrolling your streets. All your money's going to be digital. It's all going to be programmed, blockchained, and surveilled. Every single thing you do. And they're going to limit how much energy you can use, how much water you can use, how much probably air you're allowed to breathe, right? CO2. Oh my God. Global warming. They're going to use they're going to surveil everything about you. And they're going to have all these nanoparticulates in your body connected into their internet of everything, into the hive mind, the AI supercomputer, and they're even going to know what you think, what health your body's in. All this stuff is going to be managed by AI. They're going to have a complete virtual replica of you that they'll be able to basically know everything about you, every person. There will absolutely be no level of freedom ever allowed again. This is their plan, folks. This is the plan that we all got to stop. And everybody keeps falling for the right-left paradigm. Look, it doesn't matter. Obama, or the Bushes, the Clintons, Obama, the Bidens, the Trumps, they're all building the same systems. They're just using the pendulum swing amongst the citizens as a way to manipulate what they're doing. As they need one side to agree with certain things, they push the other side to get radicalized. So then the other side will call for all these new things. And then when that side is under their control, they'll swap the game and they'll push back, swing the pendulum the other way back. See, it just goes back and forth, folks. You had the left that were embracing the jibby-jabbies and the masks and the lockdown beta testing, right? But now that you've got the right in power, we're bringing back law and order, right? Now they're going to be getting the right to buy in to the mass surveillance, they always get the right to back the police, right? I'm thin blue line, baby. I back the police, right? Well, those police do what they're told based on who's paying their paycheck, okay? There always have been soldiers for the globalists, for the state, for the government, okay? The police have never been there for you, okay? That's just truth. If you believe that, I'm sorry. I'm not saying every cop, every sheriff's bad out there. There are some good constitutional sheriffs, and there are some honorable police and stuff, okay, folks? However, I'm talking about the systems, okay? Systematically speaking, the police are there to protect the elite, the elites, from you, the rabble, the sheep, right? The cattle, they would call you, whatever. That Tao, the mood book, what it calls you and all that, right? So this is, they're going to get the right to so-called back the police by allowing these robots and these drones and these AI systems to be incorporated into your police departments and sheriff departments to mass surveil you. And don't be surprised, folks, and if 5 years from now you're watching drones fly over your house every day, patrolling, right? Robots driving down roads, maybe mechanized ones, or walking down sidewalks, patrolling buildings, government buildings and such, and public areas. I mean, parks and stuff. Don't be surprised, folks. Look, this is all coming. And you got to understand, they're not even going to be managed by human beings. They're going to be managed by algorithms-based AI systems, okay? They're going to be looking at they're going to be able to analyze your mannerisms, the way you're walking, the way you're talking, your facial expressions, and they'll be able to connect in with those nanoparticulates in your body to see what your heart's doing. Are you, it's almost like you'd be getting a lie detector test done on you remotely. And they're going to be able to start doing thought crimes and pre-crimes and all that. You guys seen Minority Report. Think about Demolition Man, all these movies, right? Look, the Hollywood has always put out there what they're planning to do. Everybody thinks it was fantasy and just imagination. No. Hollywood works with the CAA. It's a wing of the CIA. They're given marching orders by the intelligence agencies. And a lot of these people are cultists. They believe in balancing out their karma. They believe that they can do philanthropy and other like things, that, oh, well, I'm giving to this charity so I can go like mass wipe out people on this hand, right? I'll save people in this hand. And then, these people are scum. So they believe they have to tell you to keep their karma balanced what they're doing ahead of time. And if the population just accepts it, then it's not their fault. They wiped their hands clean. Okay, well, you guys didn't stop us. You allowed us to do this. And see, that's why they want everybody medicated, dumbed down, propagandized, poisoned, because it makes people more docile and easy to manipulate. Lazier, right? When you look at all the great civilizations that crumbled, like Rome and the Mongolian Empire and stuff, why did that happen? Well, things became too good for them, and the people got lazy. The rulers got corrupt, and the people got lazy, and the people didn't hold the rulers to standards anymore, and allowed their corruption to get worse. And typically, I've told you guys, I'm not saying every politician, every judge, every president or whatever, prime minister is evil, but folks, most of these people are psychopaths or sociopaths. Okay, at the very least, hardcore narcissists. You don't rise to power in politics if you're not one of these or all of these type of personalities. Have one of these personality disorders. Okay? In fact, your secret societies look for these kind of people to incorporate into their organizations. Why? Well, because they make fantastic puppets. Imagine people that are sociopaths. You can easily bribe them with power, money, and sexual type things, right? That's why the whole Epstein Island thing and the Diddy thing those were being run as honeypots to capture and blackmail these type of people in power. Okay? Those were not set up for the common folk. They were set up by the intelligence agencies to entrap and blackmail powerful people. And these people, they'll do anything for money and power and to get away with whatever they want to do. They're given into the beast, right? The body. And look, folks, we all fall short and we all get seduced by the wants of the flesh, right? We all do it. We all have. And these people, to them, a lot of times they don't feel remorse for it. In fact, they will do anything possible to allow themselves to totally give in to the desires of the flesh without repercussions if they just sell themselves to these higher powers and become their puppets. They're willing to trade that for that. Tit for tat, right? The problem is that we're all caught in the middle of this. As they're destroying our nations, as they're flooding our Western nations with illegals, with religious zealots from other countries to wipe out our, populations, the more freedom-loving populations with people from third world countries that were dictatorships and Marxist, countries and stuff, that people that are more easily manipulated and used to living under an iron thumb. They have to destroy the nations that had some kind of resemblance of freedom still. And that's what they've been doing, folks. That's what the mass destruction of Europe and America and Canada and Australia is all about. Okay, they don't care about these people from these other countries. They're using them as soldiers to commit a war against the people of the nations they're invading them with. Look, folks, when your leaders are sitting here like Biden did, purposefully orchestrating 20 million plus people in a 4-year period to invade your nation. And then to put them on government handouts that are better than even your vets get, your Social Security recipients get. And you make the people pay for that, which overloads the system and bankrupts the nation. Folks, that's on purpose. That is war. That's war. But yet these liberals out here are still like standing for this. I mean, I get it. Some are starting to wake up. But then the problem is, folks, then you get a rightist, person in power. And we all want them to fix it, right? I mean, nobody wanted that shit going on, right? But then what's going to happen is they're going to use that power and that desperation by the people now to incorporate these technologies, which will further take away your rights, all in the guise of law and order, right? Yeah, we're going to get these illegals kicked out of here. And I'm all for that, folks. But I'm not for building a Skynet mass surveillance AI-driven, robotic and drone-infested world. I mean, my God, really? That's what we got to have. But see, that problem, reaction, solution, folks, okay? Right now, you've got all of the top military corporations, the military-industrial complex. They're all playing war games, and they're doing beta tests in those two war fronts, right? The country that starts with a U and the country that starts with an I. And they're testing all that, and they're perfecting these systems, folks. Why? Well, because, folks, they're going to turn all those systems on the rest of the world soon here. Okay? All in the name of law and order, to bring back order to these streets, to these inner cities, and to these, war-torn countries that they were the ones who have been raping and pillaging for the last, 100 years. I know, folks, this stuff sounds so grim. But look, you got to understand the disease if you want to, take care of it, right? And here's the disease, folks. That this is what they're doing, and they're doing it on purpose. And not only that, but a lot of the population is going to support these draconian whiplashes, because they're going to be like, well, we can't have all this. I support the police. Give them the drones. Yeah, let them, execute people like based on algorithms and AI systems, right? Oh, if they look like they're going to commit a crime, then just wipe them out with a drone. Or have this robot arrest them. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, this is the world we're walking into, and it is coming so fast. You guys don't understand it, because if you're not looking at the whole picture, if you're only looking at like specifically one thing, like, you're not seeing, if you pull out and you look at all of this, spraying of the skies, the injections, right? The getting the graph, the ENE and the particulates of a nano size into your bodies, the working on the next generation of internet, the mass dragnet of satellites being put up by SpaceX, and all these systems, right? These mass-produced robots by Tesla, these self-driven cars by Tesla. See, like, everybody thinks Elon Musk was like some kind of hero, but he's like literally one of the masterminds of building the Skynet, right? The Terminator world that we're getting ready, and he's arguing that we got to join, we have to merge with, transhumanism to like fight back this stuff, right? Like, if we don't become the robots, we will get taken over by the robots, as he's building the robots. I mean, can you believe that shit, man? I mean, my God, man. And then this Peter Thiel trash, right? And then, of course, this is all paid for by companies like BlackRock, Larry Fink. Yeah, Fink, rat Fink bastard, right? Perfect name for a scumbag. I can't even... the things I'd like to say about that guy, dude. Yeah, the new chairman of the WEF. Worse than who? Well, look, we all knew, right? They're going to replace Klaus Schwab with even a more disgusting human being that's even more hypermaniac, right? A super psychopath. I mean, we thought Uncle Klaus was bad, right? Eat the bugs. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Now we got this Peter Thiel, Mr. BlackRock, Black Cube, BlackRock, right? Scumbag that's, buying out all the homes so that nobody can buy a home anymore, right? Renting them all out at a ridiculous price nobody can afford. It's all orchestrated. And they do it with your money. If you work for the government, you work private company, more than likely, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, and then look, they all own each other too. If you look at them, like they all own shares in each other's companies. It's a monopoly. They run, tens, if not hundreds of trillions of dollars of hedge funds and 401ks, and so they're using your money to enslave you, your retirements to enslave you, folks. This is so diabolical, and Trump running around with these heads of these, Peter Thiel and all these guys, these OpenAI and these, Palantir clowns, and he's up there lauding these people. We're going to give them $500 billion to build the AI so we can win the space race. Talking about how we got to ramp up energy production, right? Was it ever ramped up for us, the people, to lower our energy costs? No, it's being ramped up to build their AI systems. See, folks, there's a lot of good that Trump's doing, but you got to realize he's playing a part. He's bringing in the next wave of their plan. And that is going to be the law and order push. And that's all going to be done in the face of the left running their little hooligan, weirdo, psycho, radical Marxist hooligans and through the streets burning cities down. And the problem, reaction, solution. Well, Big Daddy Trump going to come in with the solution with Palantir and such. Well, you're going to all have drones and robots patrolling your streets and cities. AI control them too, so you don't have humans that are corrupt doing it, right? Oh yeah, trust me, folks, it's coming. It's I mean, look, at least the lady that claims that she was actually the one who wrote the Matrix and the Terminator series, and that they were meant to go hand in hand. The Matrix was supposed to follow after Terminator. Okay, Terminator was when humans got taken over by these robot systems that they created, and then Matrix was when once the robots had already defeated humanity, they used humans as batteries, okay, and created a simulated realm to plug humans' brains into so that they thought they were still living a normal life. They'd already been conquered and they were just being used as batteries. That's what the Matrix and Terminator are all about. And look, folks, we're in the Terminator stage right now, okay? And they're building the framework for the Matrix, okay? I mean, my God, folks, this shit is crazy, dude. I mean, it really is. Like, I question so much, why am I in this world? Which, that reminds me. Unfortunately, one of the videos that I did a fantastic video about that I lost was I did it on, are we really being tricked? Are these near-death experiences showing us that people are being even manipulated outside of the body into coming back into this reincarnation trap, into this energy farm that we call Earth, and that perhaps we already are the batteries for this system, and that our source energy is being used to feed it? I got to do, come back Tuesday probably, because I'm off till Tuesday after today, and my wife's off, so we're probably going to be doing things this weekend. So I'm probably Tuesday I'll do a video on that. Unfortunately, since I lost the other one I cut. So that'll be an interesting talk, folks. But I don't know. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. I better go. It's a Saturday. I just want to get done early today and get home, and I hate work just like I'm sure most of you do. Work sucks. It gets worse every day. Work goes up, pay goes down. It's the American way, right? Just be on the endless cycle and never make enough to get out of the hole. It doesn't matter what you do. You can bring an extra $3,000 a month income, and within 6 months, you're already going to be barely making it. Okay, because everything is sucking you dry. I mean, our our car insurance went up like $140 in like 1 year, a month. Your energy bills are skyrocketing. I had a bill back in last December, and I live in the Smokies, folks. It only the coldest it gets here is like 20 degrees, between 20 and 30 degrees, and that's only a few times a year. And yes, it was a colder winter than normal out here, but my energy bill was $600 coming out of December. I mean, who $600? Think about that, folks. And they're over here, yeah, we got to ramp up energy, build power plants. Oh, for us? So we can lower our $600 energy bill? No, not for you guys, for the AI systems. No, your bills are going to continue to go up. We're going to parcel out less electricity to you guys. You're going to pay more. And we're also going to take a bunch of your water to cool our systems. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to take your water and energy, folks, to build the system that's going to enslave you. This is what Trump and them are talking about, just not as plainly as that, okay? With a big smile and a executive order and all this stuff. I mean, look, folks, both sides are trash. I told you guys, the far right and the far left always bring humanity into tyranny, because the psychopaths use the far left and the far right. They divide, they push the people apart. And then they use one side to beat on the other side. Then that side gets tired of it. The pendulum swings, and then they do it to the other side. And the whole time they're building their systems, they just use different aspects of each side of the polarity to build their systems, to manipulate them, to empower them, to pay for it. So anyways, folks, I'm sorry, man. God, I'm getting worked up right now. Look, folks, I'm going to be coming out with some videos also on what we can do about all this. Okay, I don't want to sound like Mr. Doom and Gloom, like it's lost. No, we're not lost. We just got to wake up. But these are the cold, hard facts people need to wake up to. If they don't, we will have no chance. And right now, I look at the people I work with, that I live around, family members, everything, and I just see a bunch of asleep people. I mean, just not understanding what's going on here. I mean, just going over their heads, waiting for Jesus to return or this or that, as they're literally building the beast system all around them, right? I mean, it's crazy. So anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I'll talk to you later.